Hello, welcome back. This segment of the show is called Shoot Your Shot. What we have is two people going head to head with each other. I will come up with a question. Each player will have a minute to discuss their opinions and try and converse and try and win the argument. And a third person would decide the winner. Our first section is Wicky Wildsmith, Mr. Hawks, going up against Bandwagon Bray. So each person will have a minute. And the question is, and I'll let you know while you'll be going first, the question is, who will be winning Rookie of the Year? I've just got some stats before we start, and Wildy, I'll let you know when the 1 minute timer has started. The GM survey that was taken earlier this week said that 39% of people think that LaMelo Ball is going to win, 29% said James Wiseman. So, a minute on the clock, ready, go.
Perfect. So I'm going first. I'm going to be selecting LaMelo Ball. I believe he is the best candidate to win Rookie of the Year. I think with his style of play where he will dominate the ball most of the time that he is on the floor, he's in a team that had a lot of different moves over the off-season, which has made them become what you might call an elite pass team. So there's going to be a lot of eyes on that city. He makes highlight plays, so he's going to be in some top tens, potentially building up his reputation and exposure, putting him more towards a narrative that he's going to be winning Rookie of the Year. I definitely think he's the best candidate. There's, in my opinion, maybe only two others that could potentially do it, but he's the main one for sure.
Still got 15 seconds.
15 seconds. Well, I think that he's going to surprise people with what he's going to be able to do with his shot. He's had some really weird scoring outputs in the preseason, but he's always made sure he's gone and filled up the stat sheet somewhere else.
Bray, 1 minute on the clock, go.
It's got to be Wiseman. He's the only other logical choice, and I think the best scenario for him winning it is if the Warriors are a play-in tournament team. So where if Wiseman is able to work with Steph Curry, really nail that pick and roll game, and walk into a double-double every game, he's going to start to look like the more entertaining prospect for Rookie of the Year. He's going to be on a better team. He's going to be a major contributor, and they're not going to be empty stats, especially if they're able to make the playoffs or if they're able to make that play-in tournament. I think Lonzo, while he's right, he's going to be flashy. I think it might be empty, and I think being a big man, Wiseman has the opportunity to shoot way better than Ball as well. Hopefully he can be up in the 50, 55, 60% range for shooting, and if he can hit some threes like he did last night, then more to it.
Perfectly executed. So now that both sides have said the argument, I will be deciding this first round and who wins. We have LaMelo Ball against James Wiseman. I am going to go with Wildsmith. The reason being is I've seen LaMelo Ball and he's converted me. I think that Rookie of the Year is very much about highlight plays. And if you look at the Warriors and where Wiseman is, there's a big personality on that team with Steph Curry is in. You see him going around, he's doing all the shimmying. And then you look at the personality on the Hornets, you've got Michael Jordan, the roof is the ceiling, or you've got Gordon Hayward, who, he's just a bit boring. LaMelo Ball, he's got a bit of swagger to him. I think he's going to win a Rookie of the Year. Let's go to the second question. So I'll set up the question. Ed's going to decide the winner. We have Jordan 03 or 03 Jordan, the Mr. South Beach. Mr. South Beach in Matt.
House of 03, baby.
Should have never came back. So we have Jord, be Mr. South Beach, Matt. So the second question we have is sort of the prize possession for any individual. Is who is going to win MVP this year? The GM survey said that Giannis was 32% likely and Luka was 21% likely. So, George, you will start 1 minute on the clock. I'll let you know when you're done. Go.
Okay, what do I have to say? If it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. Who's going to go in? It's going to be Giannis Antetokounmpo. 3-peat, baby. House of 03. Why am I telling you this? I'll tell you why. This guy has been on a pull-up game. He's been pulling himself up ever since he's been drafted. All his stats are increasing year by year, and I think this man is going to do it again for the 3P.
Still got time. You still got time.
I still got time. I'll keep going, brother. What can't this man do? Defense, score points, and on top of that, his 3-point percentage is also increasing with that. What can I say, man?
Time. You out. Right, let's go to Lancashire Laimbeer, baby. 1 minute, go.
Well, Giannis is the easy option, but I don't think he's going to win it this year because he's won it twice now in a row. He's proven that it doesn't work in the playoffs. My selection is from the LA Lakers, and no, it's not LeBron James, it's Anthony Davis. And the reason why I've gone for Anthony Davis is the LA Lakers are transitioning now from a team where LeBron is the main man to Anthony Davis. Davis proved during the regular season last year that he can be that man. He proved it again during the playoffs, and he proved it again during the finals. He's spoken with Frank Vogel about shooting more threes. He's decent from three-point range. I don't see any faults with Davis's game. The brow, he's my MVP.
That's good. I like that. All right, we're ending that early. So the decision lies in House Lasky.
So the reason I'm making the decision is that, okay, this feels like I'm going to send subliminals, but Jordan, you spoke about what Giannis has done past couple of years and how that's improving year on year on, whereas Matt spoke about what is happening this year compared to last year. And I think that's sort of what tipped it for me. And also what Matt said at the start, I don't know how willing the voters are going to be to vote Giannis again when it sort of loses their credibility when they vote for him again and yet he poo-poos in the playoffs. So I think that those were the 2 points, the reason I'm going to have to say it's Mr. Harris that Lancashire Laimbeer picks up this win.
Fair.
Good pick. Okay.
Although I love the energy for Giannis. Like
yeah,
we hype videos for the Bucks when they start the game.
I spoke too quickly, and then I was like, "Oh snap!"
we will
I got
be
to the end. Maybe I was too quick.
That's interesting. I will keep tabs on this to see who wins the argument, and maybe might include it within the wins.
Please
so
do
knows?
Reveal at the end.
Maybe.
Oh, I mean, these ones are they're popularity contests.
Okay.
Awards.
All right, Bray. Don't be salty.
Wait, salty already.
Why you gotta be a Scrooge, Bray? Come on, man.
Hey, you calling me a Scrooge?
Spirit, brother.
You calling me a Scrooge? Matt's out here. He's not down with the king. He's get that king out of here. He's LeBron. How can you say LeBron's about to be not the guy anymore? LeBron James.
LeBron said it himself.
Yeah,
LeBron said it himself.
He's throwing LeBron James under the bus.
Let order. Let Matt talk. I want to hear this.
It's the transition. This has been spoken about for some time. This isn't this new thing. This was spoken about during the playoffs and during the finals last year. LeBron knows that the transition is going to AD is going to be the main man. LeBron's 35, 36 now. He's still going to be up there, definitely. But
still the king.
He is still the king. I think he's the king too. But this is AD's time.
I know LeBron says that, but I also think that's part of his MVP campaign and how much a good teammate he is.
The bait and switch.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to some headlines? Should we do it?
Okay.
So the first headline, the first headline I have is a big contract, and that is Rudy Gobert, the guy who shut down the entire league. As we all know, he signed a 5 year, that'd be very low, 5 year, 205 million extension. I wanted to, what do you guys think of this? Ed spoke briefly about his relationship with Jazz superstar Donovan Mitchell and how their team is transitioning. Obviously, they were actually up 3-1 against the Nuggets, lost in Game 7. Donovan Mitchell exploded in the playoffs. A lot of turmoil in that franchise. How does everyone feel about Rudy Gobert this season? Does he deserve the contract? What do we think?
So I'll quickly kick us off because I've got the Jazz as my team. So I'll quickly just say what I have to say, then let everyone just go from there. First thing to note is the reason he got so much was because he had the credentials to be offered the Supermax. However, he didn't take the Supermax. He took a little bit just below. And when I was doing some, again, looking into the Jazz, a lot of people are saying the big thing with Rudy is that he's not a creator. He can't create his own offense. Outside of Donovan Mitchell, there's a lack of being able to create scoring opportunities on that team, maybe from ISO when you really, as Bray mentioned before, when you really need a bucket. Then the other side of it was Utah can't attract, it's difficult for Utah to attract free agents. Rudy Gobert is probably the best center they could get, and it's not back in the day in the 80s, 90s where there was such a glut of really quality centers. Rudy Gobert is arguably third or fourth best center in the league, which if you're looking at it from that perspective, looks quite good. But then if you take Rudy Gobert as Rudy Gobert, might not necessarily be where you want to be. That's just the way I see it. So obviously I've got the Jazz moving forward. It feels fine. I'm into my NFL, so I do watch a lot of NFL. When I see these contracts compared to NFL contracts, I think that this is like, wow, that is so much for someone who's not necessarily the elite player. But it's a bit of a weird one. I'm not sure how you think, the rest of you guys think about this.
I think you touched on something really important there when you're talking about that's what they could get and that's the best they could get. As you say, no longer is the league full of big guys that everybody's keen on every single team. So he's a former defensive player of the year. Really, really key guy. They've obviously won a lot of games with him, and they blew that 3-1 lead to Denver, but that shot goes in from Connolly that went in and out, and they're the ones advancing. So they still blew 3 games in a row. So there was a lot more than just a Connolly shot, but to the point, Rudy Gobert, he's a fantastic player. They have a lot of shot creators on that team, or they have as much as they need. So look, not everybody needs to be a Jokic or a Joel Embiid. These guys are generational players for a reason. They don't come along that often. So if you have somebody as reliable as Rudy Gobert, you have to lock him in. And, I think it's a win that they didn't have to pay him the Supermax. So actually, I think it's a win on both sides. There's no reason for them to be losing him. He's going to be really key for them moving forward.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I mean, all you have to do is look around the league. Who are the top players? Anthony Davis, Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid. You look around at those positions and you go, all right, who have I got that's going to guard them? And there is no better answer than Rudy Gobert. I think unless you think you can get one of those guys instead of Gobert, you just lock him up because
Mason Plumlee, surely.
Yeah, of course, mate. Of course.
I was going to say as well, remember when Steph Curry put Gobert in the blender? That was.
Yeah. Ooh. See, he's been devalued because of that. Everyone's like, oh, he's washed. Like, yeah, there are certain matchups that he's not going to do well in. Of course, he can't guard Steph Curry. Not many people can guard Steph Curry. Steph Curry's put most of us in the blender.
I would also point, so just looking at the payroll for Utah coming forward in 2024, 2025, the year before Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell's player option kicks in. Donovan Mitchell will earn 35 mil that year. Rudy Gobert will earn 44 mil that year. So we'll be on 9 mil more than Donovan Mitchell for that specific year. So just putting that out there.
Do you think players look into that?
In a salary cap, in a salary cap league, even in a non-salary cap league, because in a non-salary cap league, you're like, wait, if he's making that much, there's no reason why you can't pay me that much. But then in salary cap league, you're like, wait, we only have a certain amount of a pie. You're getting that much, so you should be producing more. But I'm producing more than you, but you got more of a pie. So in both ways, I can see yes, no.
I'm all for the contract. Like, I'm happy with it. I think it's gotten to a point in the league where comparatives kind of surround the players, where people are too focused on like, oh, well, he's no Anthony Davis, so what? So that's the point. So what? He's not trying to be that player. These players are at the top of the game for a reason. And I feel that Rudy Gobert is still putting in the effort and contributing big for the team. So why shouldn't he deserve that slice of the pie, as he was saying. You know?
Absolutely, and I think with Donovan Mitchell being being as motivated by winning as he is, if there is that 10 million gap between him and Gobert, you know, he probably does feel like he's worth more than Gobert. But unfortunately for Donovan Mitchell, there's a heck of a lot more wing players that you know are available than there are big men, as we touched on earlier. So there's more of a market for big men like him. And look, I have faith in Donovan Mitchell that he's not going to let 9 million get in the way of a good thing. Which fine, they might not get on all that well. Yeah, these are little murmurs, but we've seen what they can do together. So just because they're not buying each other dinner doesn't mean they're not getting buckets.
Well, Donovan Mitchell, second in salary, second in Rookie of the Year voting. Unlucky Donovan. Big Ben. That's right, baby.
You're such a prick. You're such a prick.
I want us to end on something fun, and I haven't. This is going to go off script because this news has just come in. I thought it was pretty wild. Something that I want to ask you all a question. So the headline that we have in front of me is that the NBA is looking into the video of James Harden partying at a strip club. So basically the NBA is investigating ahead of their opener whether James Harden can play. He's actually tested negative for COVID. So my question to you is actually not linked to that, is which NBA player, past or present, would you want to go on a night out with? And I'm going to say first. I'm going to go with one of my favorite NBA TV personalities. Got to give the people. I'm going with Mr. Champagne and campaigning, Jalen Rose. The reason being is this man knows his cities. He knows what's up, and also he's got the nicest haircut in the league as well. He's going to attract. He's going to attract the ladies. It is clean. So that is my pick. Let's go down the line. Obviously, a bit off the script, but I would like to hear who you would like to go on a night out with.
Only in the league, right?
It can be past or present.
Okay, so for me, I'm gonna say Shaq. Okay, now it's gonna be a worry for me. Like if he trips and we're like dancing in the club, that could be my life. Like I'm done. You know.
You and four other people.
Yeah. But going out on a night out with Shaq, it would look crazy. Have you seen him DJing online on his Insta and stuff and live? It would be a mad night. And anyone who says otherwise, they are out of their mind.
Stop it.
That Santa suit he was wearing for the whole of TNT last night was unbelievable. So funny.
That would be mad though.
He's like, oh, so we started early, Chuck. He's like, y'all tricked me in what I'm wearing. That's so funny, man. Oh, jeez.
Who's anybody else got?
I'm going to have to say Dennis Rodman. Like, the man is friends with Kim Jong-un, for goodness sake. He's mental. Like, so a night out with him would be probably the most memorable night out of your life. And also, take you back to the 1990s. This guy's dating Carmen Electra. Like, you're going on a night out with her as well.
Would you survive it, though?
I don't think Robert wants you talking to Electra. Dude, I love the pic because it's funny, but that guy's too weird, man. I would not be on night out with that man.
Oh, the stories you'd have to tell from that, though. If, like you said, George, if you survived it.
This man used to bring girls to the half-court line in the middle of the day to, you know what, and the cleaner was there, seeing it all. This guy is wild.
On a more cleaner note, the man led the league in rebounding, and he missed 20 games, but he still led the whole league in rebounding.
Oh, he's an absolute animal. On and off the court, we're well aware of this. That is a fantastic pick. I think I'm going to go on some similar lines here. I'm going to properly throw it back to Wilt the Stilt.
Oh, no.
This man has a reputation. He is a ladies' man. And I think it'd be cool to watch him work, and I think
Too much information. Whoa.
Hey, in the club, not in the bedroom. Come on, no one needs that. No one needs that.
Are we ending the night early? What's going on?
No. Look, he's a lazy man, and I think he had insane reputation for that stuff. Insane. I wanna know what the secret is, because I don't understand it. Maybe it's just being 7 foot tall. Maybe that's it. But yeah, I'll pick Wilt on that.
Watch him work.
Watch him do his work. Just taking that notes, right there in the corner. Just taking that notes.
Hey, it's fine. I'll pick up the stragglers. I'm sure there's enough of them.
I tell you what, if it's going to be past the present, I tell you what, I could take either one of Tatum. No, what am I talking about? Channing.
Hey, Magic Mike, keep me up.
This chat.
I got laugh
Magic
from Coach
Mike,
Carter. Laugh from Coach Carter.
What are you trying?
Tell us what you really think.
No, I'm
Channing Tatum, Zac Efron.
I would take Richard Jefferson or Channing Frye, because those guys, man, are so funny. Like, I listen to them a lot as well. They're hilarious. Them on a night out, that would be funny. I wouldn't be worried about dying halfway through the night. And that's some good stories from them as well.
God, we got back on Channing Tatum. You're playing Genuine Pony. Hey man, it's easy. Just gotta learn the move. Right, Ed. I think you're last up though.
So initially, I like to be a little bit more subtle, and I was like, you know what, like you don't want like a 7 foot NBA player going into the club with. I like to be a bit more subtle, like in the background. And I thought, you know what, someone would be really cool that will still have a big name, brand name back in the day. The original Isaiah Thomas. I reckon he's got some stories being a Chicago guy and spending his career in Detroit. I reckon he's got some chilled under the table stories. If we're going like proper night out, like once ever, like you can only go out this person once, I would say it's one or two. I'm surprised no one mentioned, of course, the original Lemon Pepper Lou. I reckon that could be that could be a good shout. The original 6 man, and then the words of Drake, 6 man like Lou will, 2 girls, and they get along like I'm.
Lou will.
So Lou will be a great one, and if not, listening to All the Smoke, I reckon Matt Barnes is a great night out. Like, he seems like he can have an absolute laugh, and it's got a good banner on him, and got some great stories. I think we know some Matt Barnes stories throughout his career. So I think I gave you 3 answers, but whatever, fight me.
Just don't bring Derek Fisher around.
Yeah, I was gonna say Matt Barnes is a hazard. He'd be dragging you into some fights, man.
All that smoke.
Great. But he would be great for. Like,
oh
if you got
yeah.
into some trouble, you know. I don't know if you're harassing Channing Tatum, he's great there.
Oh man.
No one chose J.R. Smith.
Oh, J.R. would be good as well.
I don't smoke.
See, Wildy and J.R. are too similar. There can only be one of them on a night out, otherwise the whole thing is going to shit.
Yeah, that's true. James Smith. Thank you all for your answers. Very
it's fun. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the surprise round.
Oh yeah. You weren't expecting Channing Tatum, were you?
I can't wait to watch that back and see all our reactions. Do you say Channing Tatum?
I thank you for all of those interesting, but I think very good options for a night out. Shame it's not going to happen, but it's okay. This has been the 6th man, end of week 1. A lot of interesting storylines, a lot of teams ready to start their season, and we're going to know a lot more this time next week. So from me, the 6th man, and the rest of the guys, it is over and out.
Peace out, boys.
Thank you, guys.
See you later.
See ya.